welcome to the How to Market Your Horse Business podcast. As you've likely guessed by now, my name is Denise Alvarez, and I get to host you here on the podcast. And before we dive into this week's topic of email list building, which you may not be pumped about, but I promise you will be by the end of it, I will quickly introduce myself and then we will dive in. Now, as I said, my name is Denise, and through my business, Storm Lily Marketing, I get to help dream-chasing horse business owners like yourself to see clearly through the marketing overwhelm so you can create a clear message, a cohesive plan for your social media, your website, and your email marketing. Why? Because that is how we turn your online audience into your customers. Now, I do that specifically through one-on-one coaching, as well as website design and copywriting and education, such as this podcast, and I have some online learning resources for you as well. My heart truly is to help equestrian entrepreneurs like yourself to be out in the barn or the arena behind the camera lens. And for some of you, it's still behind the computer, but you're serving the equine industry, doing what you love. And I want to help you do more of that. And so here on this podcast, you'll get a mix of step-by-step strategies, essential how-tos, and entrepreneurial mindset shifts that will help you not only see what's possible for your business, but I'm also here to guide you through that process so you can make it happen. Now, as I said, today we're talking about list building. And we're heading into a season, as of this recording, that is actually likely to keep your own email inbox kind of full. It's the holidays, and I know there will be tons of holiday specials, Black Friday deals, and last-minute reminders to get your shopping done. Why? Because email marketing works. That's why I want to make sure that you are making the most of email marketing for your horse business. Denise, I already get so many emails. I don't want everybody to be spammed because I'm sending emails and they're also getting a bunch of holiday emails. I don't think I should send emails during the holidays. Not true, my friend. I want to remind you of the stats. 3% of your social media followers are going to organically see your content. And yes, it does get a little more crowded in the holiday time. But when you look at emails, average open rate is 20%. That means 20% on average of the people on your email list are going to open your emails. And let me just tell you, my clients see much higher rates. They average 40%. And remember that statistically, email marketing is actually give you a better return dollar for dollar in terms of buyers who are there to take action. And lastly, the people who have signed up for your email list are there because they've asked for them. It's called permission-based marketing. They have given you permission to show up in their inbox with something valuable. So you're going to send those emails, right? It is smart marketing to be aware of your audience's needs and not send too many emails. But it is not smart marketing to never send an email to your list, okay? The proof is in the pudding. I just gave it to you. So we're going to send emails. We're growth-oriented equestrian entrepreneurs. We're going to send emails. So the question becomes, who are you emailing? Who is on your list? Have you spent time building an email list of qualified leads? If not, the good news is it's never too late. And so in this episode, I'm going to help you do just that. You're going to get 3 steps to build an email list of qualified leads. This is not just a beginner session right here or beginner strategy, because no matter where you are on your marketing journey, you should always be building your email list. And so we're going to talk about some ways that you do that intentionally to get the right people on your list from the get-go. So let's dive in. Now, as a reminder to you, the show notes for this episode will have these steps outlined for you. And so if you head to Storm and then LILY.com/156 for episode 156, you will get the highlights of this episode here. And then also any link that I mention, I will include on the show notes. So for example, I'm going to give you a number of real life examples today of people that are building their email list of qualified leads. And if you want to check out how they're doing it and what those free resources are that they've created, I'll have the link to that in the show notes. Okay. And then I also have a free resource for you from myself to help you get that created. That will also be in the show notes. All right, let's dive in. 3 steps to build an email list of qualified leads for your horse business. All right, step number 1 is to qualify your leads. This is such an important step. Please do not skip it. You must know your audience. It is always the first step to effective marketing. Whether we're talking about websites, social media, email marketing, or even print or digital advertising, it's not just about getting people on your email list. This is an opportunity for you to qualify your lead, to prepare them for the next step in the process of becoming your client and your customer. So we're going to do this by creating something that is free that will incentivize them to get on your email list. We call this in the marketing world a lead magnet, or you may have heard me call it a freebie before for simplistic reasons. But when you think about it, it's called a lead magnet because we're creating something to attract your qualified leads, right? So we want to magnetize them to you. And this is how we're going to do it with a free resource that is valuable. That's a very key word, which we'll talk about in just a bit. Now remember, this is not just about creating something that will get everybody to jump on your email list. This is an opportunity for you to qualify your leads from the get-go, okay? So I want you to ask yourself a few questions as you brainstorm what your lead magnet might be. And we're going to dive deeper into some ideas here in a moment. Before we do that, though, I want you to think about these 3 questions as you think about your audience that you're creating this for, okay? Number 1, what goals do they have in mind related to your products and services? What are they trying to accomplish? What roadblocks have been keeping them from working with you or from buying your products or your services? What problem can you solve that will set them up for the next step in working with you? All right, so those 3 questions, again, those are on the show notes for the episode, but consider those questions as we go on to step number 2 for building an email list of qualified leads. So step number 1 was to qualify your leads. Think about who your audience is. Step number 2 is to create your lead magnet. Now, the most common way to do this is a downloadable PDF. And you've probably downloaded at least one in your time, hopefully one of mine. I have a ton of free resources available for you on my website, so definitely go check those out. But this is probably not brand new to you once you understand the concept and you're going to go, oh, that's why so-and-so has this resource and I got that. It's called a lead magnet, right? But I'm going to share with you a few ideas that are outside of the typical, quote unquote, PDF resource that you would get. Now, I'm going to give you some proven ideas for creating an opt-in lead magnet or freebie that's going to help you to build your email list of qualified leads. These are real-life horse business examples. One of them that I'm going to show you is mine. The rest are actually clients of mine. Most of them have been in my Take the Reins coaching program. One of them, I have worked with her in other ways, but when you hear her name, you'll go, oh yeah, she didn't need Take the Reins coaching because she's been doing this a very long time and doing it successfully, but we've worked together in other ways. But still, most of the ones that you're going to meet through this list have been through my Take the Reins one-on-one coaching program where I walk through this process with you. So we identify your audience, we identify a lead magnet that's going to be valuable, and I help you really get that process going, the delivery set up, and creating the email newsletter, the whole works. That's part of that coaching process, okay? So let's dive in. Here are some concrete real-life examples of lead magnets that horse businesses are using to get the right people in the door. All right, the first idea is a checklist. You could do a checklist for your audience, and I have one that I call my website checklist. It is 4 must-haves to make your equine website dreams a reality. And so 4 things, and you go through the checklist and you check your website to see if you have those. Now, I'm not going to tell you verbally a link for every single one of these because that would be cumbersome for you to listen to. So I'm just going to tell you, if you want to check out any of these free resources or lead magnets, head to stormlily.com/156. I'll have all of them there in the show notes for you. Okay. All right. So checklist. Another checklist idea was Kara Taylor Swift with Fast Horse Photography. And she created a free resource for photographers who are ready or trying to decide if they're ready for in-person sales, as she provides mentoring specifically for equine photographers wanting to move to in-person sales. And so her free resource is 5 surefire signs your equine photography business is ready for in-person sales. So you can see how that's a checklist, okay, that photographer is going to go through and say, are these signs for me? Do I meet the criteria here with this checklist? Okay, then I'm ready for in-person sales. Okay, so you could do a checklist. You can also do a guide. Another client of mine was Addie Stewart with Prime Equine, and she created a resource because she specifically is helping cowgirl athletes. I won't be able to tell you the tagline right off the top of my head exactly the way we created it. If you find her on Instagram, you'll love what she's doing. But she's specifically helping cowgirl athletes that want to compete on healthy, balanced horses. I think that's right. I might have missed a few words. It's important for you to know that because she identified her audience first. And so now her free resource to get them in the door is a guide, Competitor to Champion, Top 5 Secrets to Shave Off Seconds in the Performance Pen. Okay, I'm loving getting to say these back to you because I'm remembering how much fun it was to help come up with these titles and really hone in on our audience through that and the content that's inside of it. It's so fun. All right, the next guide example that I have from you is another lovely equine photographer, Phyllis Burchett. You may know her. She has an equine photography guide, and it's her best tips for taking photos of the horses we all love. And lots of photographers come to her workshops to learn from her. And so we created this guide to get people a foot in the door and get them on her email list where she sends weekly emails specifically for equine photographers. All right, you can also do a how-to. So remember, we're talking about creating your valuable lead magnet, and I'm giving you some really proven ideas for how you can do that. And so you could do a checklist, you could do a guide, you could do a how-to. And this one is from Susan DeFelice, and she does equestrian design and surface pattern design specifically in the equine industry. And so she created an how-to for how to select the right pattern for your equestrian product. We called it a product pattern playbook. And so for those of you who have products and you're looking for patterns, so if you think about saddle pads or even pillowcases and sheets or like over the shoulder bags or pillows. There's so many things when you think about it that have patterns. And so she designs those. And so we created a product pattern playbook to help people understand the elements when you're selecting the right pattern and then to get the foot in the door because they may ask Susan to actually do a custom design and pattern for them. So that's the goal for that particular free resource. And so it's a how-to. All right, another example for you of a way that you can do a lead magnet is audio or video. Now, I told you before that the most common that you'll see is PDF, but that doesn't mean that's the only thing that you can do. And I've actually seen some people do a mix of a PDF that includes an audio or links to an audio or video. But the two examples I have here for you are a combination of audio and video. There is no PDF. And this is from Hayes Cofell Performance Horses in Canada. They are reining and ranch riding breeders and trainers and coaches, and they do a wonderful job there. And Lindsay, it's a husband and wife team. And this particular free resource is actually coaching from Lindsay. And she has one that is actually a trot exercise video and audio lesson. So to help people with their trot. And she has a video that walks you through the steps and then an audio lesson so that you can put your earbuds in and you can listen to her coach you through it as you do it on the back of your horse. And then she has another one that's just video. It's a 3-part video series on how to fix your lope departure in 3 steps. And so she walks you through each step in a video series, and it is all video, and it's a how-to mixed with video, right? So obviously you can mix these things together. Now I have one more for you to consider. So we've talked about a checklist, a guide, a how-to, audio and video, and then you could include a discount. Now, this obviously depends on the types of products and services that you provide and your audience and if they would find it valuable. But if they do, it can be a great way to build your email list. So my example here for you is another equine photographer. I know I love and appreciate some of the really top equine photographers in the industry, and I'm so grateful to get to work with them. And Shelly Paulson is another client and friend. She did not go through Take the Reins, but she has a beautiful equine premium stock library. I will tell you, if you go to my website or if you've seen any of my podcast art from the past few years, aside from when I have a guest, I use Shelly's stock library. It is my favorite. And if you go there, you will see the option to join her email list and get a discount on her stock library. And so it's a great way for her to get people in the door. So when she adds new photos to the library, she can email her list and let them know that there's new work there available to them, or when she runs specials, she can do that. And so she's building her email list of qualified leads using a discount. It's a one-time discount just when you join the email list. That is what is most common, although it's not the only way that you can do it. It's what is most common. And so you can check that out and see how she does that as well. Again, all of these links that I've mentioned to you will be on the show notes. But my goal for you is to feel inspired to see what's possible, to see that this can work for every kind of equine business that you can think of. I love to strategize these things. Oftentimes when I meet people in person and they're saying, Denise, I'm trying to figure out how this will work for me, then immediately I'm starting to think of content and ideas for them. So I promise you, no matter what area of the equine industry you are serving, we can come up with a valuable lead magnet that will help you to qualify your leads as you build your email list. Now, I do have one free resource for you that I want you to get. So the others, check out if it's related to you or if you're interested, get them. But I have a freebie creation guide that walks you through steps of trying to put together your free resource, okay? So if you go to the show notes, I've got all these links there. And what I really want you to look for, and I'll even give you this direct link, is the freebie creation guide, the Equine Entrepreneur's Roadmap to creating a freebie that delivers value and builds trust. Because that's my goal for you with these free resources. You're going to deliver value and build trust for your potential clients and customers. So if you head to stormlily.com/freebie, FREEBIE, then you can get this freebie creation guide and it'll help simplify this process for you as well. All right, so your first step is to qualify your leads. Your second step is to create a valuable lead magnet. And your third step is to promote your lead magnet. Because what often happens is it gets created, it gets mentioned maybe once or twice, and then it's never mentioned again. But here's the thing, you did all of this work to create something that's super valuable. I want you to remember to promote it. I'm going to give you some practical ways to do that, okay? So again, if you have notes handy, write these down. Otherwise, head to the show notes. I have it listed there for you, all right? Here are 10 ways that you can share about your lead magnet so that you can get qualified leads onto your email list. Number 1, a landing page. What this means is on your website, you're going to create a page that is only for getting signups for your lead magnet. Most often, there's not a header or a footer. There's not a menu. It's just the meat, just the sign up form, what they're going to get, and an easy way to sign up for it. Okay, so that's called a landing page. Number 2, invite your friends, your family, your customers to share about it. You never know who they know, and your customers definitely probably know people that are like them that you want to duplicate, and so invite them to share about it. Most people will be happy to do something like that for you. And the great thing is when you create that landing page, you're going to create it with a super simple URL, so yourwebsite.com/ whatever that name of the free resource is. And that makes it really easy for you to get people to share it as well. Okay, I also want you to consider putting it on your business card. These days, it's super easy to create a QR code. If you're in Canva, Google that. There's a YouTube video that you can super simply create a QR code so people can scan your business card and easily get to the free resource, but also put that URL on there, okay? Make it very easy for them. Number 4, consider a website pop-up form. I know you're probably rolling your eyes at me saying, Denise, I hate pop-ups. But again, if you look at the stats, they work. You keep seeing them everywhere you go because they work. And so consider doing a pop-up and remind yourself that if what you've created is really valuable, you want people to hear about it, okay? The other thing you can do is put it in your email signature. Don't assume that just because someone's emailing with you that they're on your email list, okay? You're probably talking to plenty of potential clients and customers through email. So create a super simple signature that's attached to every email and then invites them to get that free resource. Number 6, the other thing you can do and should do is to promote it on social media. Do a mix of things over time, okay? So this is something I want you to build into your social media strategy is list building. So you're going to do posts with images. You're going to do a post with carousels eventually. You're going to do a reel. You're going to put it in your stories. Use it different forms of posting to be building your email list over time. And also, let's look at your website again. Consider creating a section or even a page of your tools and resources and then put this on there. So for many of you, if you just have one, you're probably just going to have a section on your website, and that's cool. I mean, you're going to have that landing page and then make sure it's on your homepage and there's a section for it. And maybe it's in other places as well. I know I have some clients where we put it in the footer, depending on what your goals are with your website. But definitely make sure that even if you have a pop-up and even if you have a landing page, that there's a way that people who are visiting your website and just moving around would be able to easily see that free resource and get signed up. All right, the other way, the 8th way, I should say, in case you're writing these down, this is number 8, that you can promote your lead magnet is through your print materials. Again, we talked about that QR code. Even if it's a print material, you put that QR code on there and they can scan it to get signed up. Okay. So this can work for print ads. This can work for if you're a billboard person, or say, for example, you are sponsoring an event, you have a banner somewhere. Absolutely. You can use that QR code to get people to get your free resource. All right, number 9, consider your social media bio, okay? Consider, especially on Instagram, we have a little more space. Facebook keeps changing how the description is set up, and it depends, like if you're using, Pinterest, TikTok, whatever. Every platform has a different word count that is allowed or a character count that is allowed. But if you have space, your social media bio can be a great way to get people in the door with your lead magnet. And then finally, Facebook ads, Instagram ads, social media ads, whatever you're doing, digital ads to get people in the door can also be a way that you get your lead magnet in front of the right people. So those 10 ways, friends, if you're saying, Denise, I don't know how to build my email list, I just gave you 10 ways that you can be promoting your lead magnet to get the right people on your email list. Here's what I want you to remember about this part. Try to build into your strategy that you will always be list building. You spent the time, as we said, creating something valuable, all right? So don't just talk about it one time. Don't just post about it once or send one email at one time. As you get new followers, as you make new friends, as you have new website visitors because of the other work that you are doing, you want them to know about this valuable free resource that is available, because remember, you're going to make it valuable. So you want people to know about it. And so be promoting it and let people know it is there. Okay. All right. A quick recap for you. We're going to qualify your leads. We're going to know who your audience is. And then you're going to create a valuable lead magnet. And then you're going to promote it. Okay. 3 steps. You can do this. Because remember, whether it's the holiday season or not, email marketing is the way that you're going to get in front of more of the right people who are going to buy your products and your services. Social media is a wonderful asset. Your website is absolutely a necessity, and email marketing is what's going to set you apart and help you to build a sustainable equine business. Sustainable is my goal for you. All right. I want you to be doing this as long as you want to. As long as you are doing what you love, you can be building your email list. All right. Now, before we sign off, let me just remind you that Take the Reins is my one-on-one coaching program created just for equestrian entrepreneurs who are really ready to have a strategy in place for your email marketing, but also for your social media and your website that's going to help you build that long-term strategy for marketing your horse business. And so if you were listening to this thinking, oh, that must be nice for those people to get Denise's help, please know that you're invited as well. I would love to work with you. So if you head over to stormlily.com/reins, then you will find more information about my coaching program. See if it's a right fit for you. If it's going to meet your needs, then I would love to meet you, talk more about the goals you have for your business and how I could help you accomplish those through one-on-one coaching. So again, head to stormlily.com/reins and you'll learn more about the ins and outs of the program, who it's for, who it's not for, what's included, and yes, of course, how much it costs. All of that information is on that one page. All right. So head there, go ahead and apply if you think you might be a fit so we can get on a Zoom call and talk together, and then we can go from there. Okay, friends, I'm so grateful you've joined me here for this podcast. I hope that it has been super practical and helpful to you. And if it has, would you do me a favor? Jump onto Apple Podcasts and leave a review. I would be so very grateful. And what it will do is actually tell Apple Podcasts that other people who are listening to business podcasts and horse podcasts need to listen to this podcast, because we're here to mix the two together and help you to market your horse business well. So if you would leave a review on Apple Podcasts, that would be so helpful. And then share this with a friend. I guarantee that you have business friends in the equine industry who have talked about wanting to try email marketing but weren't sure about it. This is the episode for them. All right. So send this episode to the one person that came to mind as you were listening, and then stay tuned because I have some fun guests scheduled for you in the coming weeks and into the new year. And so I will continue to put out this weekly podcast, and I hope you will continue to join me. Have an amazing day.